Fraizer Campbell, Manchester United Academy graduate, former Sunderland striker. Thank you very much for joining.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Obviously, United Sunderland this weekend. You played for both clubs. I'd like to chat to you about your experiences of the fixture. At one stage, you were one of five United Academy graduates on Sunderland's books. Wes Brown, John O'Shea, Phil Bardsley, Kieran Richardson, and yourself all at the same time. I mean, what was that like to be a part of?
Yeah, it was like a home away from home. Um, like you said, so many ex-academy players in a dressing room that not at Man United. It felt really comfortable. Some of the players that you mentioned, I remember playing reserve team football for years with them, so it was really easy to settle into a dressing room. And obviously, then you take that into the Premier League, which is, it's the next step from reserve football. So it was great. Obviously, Steve Bruce was there. He knew Man United in and out, and he kind of carried on the values from when he was a player at United up to Sunderland. So yeah, it was a really exciting time. Great squad of players and some young talent as well involved in it. It was, yeah, like I said, a home away from home.
Even though it turned out a nightmarish day, I would like to focus briefly on the final day of the 11-12 season. You started, so to set the scene, obviously United go to Sunderland needing to win, hoping that City drop points at home to QPR. You started for Sunderland, as did Shazy, as did Bardo. What was that day like from your perspective? Like what were your expectations and hopes sort of going into the game and then how did the game unfold?
So yeah, and anytime you go into a game with the likes of Man United, you're always the underdog, and especially when we knew that there was a title at stake. So yeah, you go to the game, you're preparing as normal, but then when you get to the stadium, you're seeing all your mates are in the stadium. Might be playing for two different teams, but we're all there together, and it's difficult because the kid side of you thinks, right, you really want Man United to win, but then you're an adult, you're a professional. You've got to try and win the game for your club that you're trying to represent. You're trying to finish as high up the table as you possibly can. So you put in all your efforts into to winning the game. But I remember at certain points of the game, Rio, I was playing against Rio. Obviously, I was playing up front. And he was like, "Stop running around. We're trying to win the league here, and you lot are just trying to mess it up for us." And we had a bit of banter and stuff like that. But we were both professional, both trying to win the game, and it was, unfortunate for them, it wasn't enough on the day.
Yeah, we'll come to that. What's Rio like to play against? 'Cause obviously, you knew his game quite well from training, but you can know all you want. He was top class, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's a top draw player. My dad was a Leeds fan, so I used to watch him a lot when he was at Leeds. And then obviously he signed for United with that white suit and his bleached blonde hair. And yeah, he went from strength to strength. Yeah, even though, I watched him daily in training and stuff, it was really difficult to try and get the better of him on a match day because, he was a top player.
And then on that day, obviously, United do win 1-0, Wayne Rooney.
Mm.
Going into so when the game finishes at Stadium of Light, what's going through your head? Because as far as things were set, United were going to be champions.
Yeah, so it's the waiting game. The game finishes, everyone's looking around each other. How's City gone on? News filtering through that it's 1-1 at the time, I think.
2-2.
2-2, sorry, yeah. And then it's as you waiting, it felt like an age. We stood on the pitch for just like going around shaking hands or whatever, just waiting. Managers on the pitch, the lot, and then the Sunderland fans start cheering and going mental. So then you thought, oh God, something's happened. And then it filters in that Aguero scored and all the United. Everyone was just dejected on the pitch, really. All after the Sunderland team and obviously all the Man United team, everyone just like, kind of sulked off and went into the dressing room, and it was a weird, strange feeling because you don't want the other team to win, but at the same time you do. Do you know what I mean? So it was a strange atmosphere, but yeah, it wasn't to be.
Sunderland fans enjoyed it, didn't they? And
Yeah, I think they
Yeah,
enjoyed it a little bit too much for United fans' sake, but that's part of football. Yeah, it's the banter in the terrace. That's why we love it. So many people love it because the chants and stuff that they're going in between each other. But I think it just sets it up. When we played them the next season, from the tension in the stadium from that season, set it up for another tasty encounter down at Old Trafford, and
yeah.
that's what makes football brilliant.
It was very much set up, like you say. That was one of the, I mean, we played some brilliant games that 12-13 season, but there was, even though historically there's no kind of real reason for a rivalry between United and Sunderland, that day there was a definite edge. The players were looking forward to it. The manager was well up for it. The fans were well up for it. And that first half performance, it was only 2-0 at half time, but
Yeah, it could have been seven.
it was some show. It was some show. You were watching, you were on the bench in the
I
first
was on the
half. What was
bench.
it like
Yeah,
watching? Were you glad
it
to be
was.
on the bench?
Well, yeah, I was very glad to be on the bench because certain like times when you go to these stadiums or these big clubs, you can just feel in the atmosphere that they're just on it. Like I had it when was I think it was that season we at Chelsea as well, where they had Lampard and Cole and them guys running the show. When we turned up that day, you could see they were still annoyed, and I know Fergie will have been saying that in the dressing room before the game. These lot tried to take the mick out of you lot, and let's turn up today and give them what's what. So, like I said, first 45, it was just attack, 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 attack. It was just wave and wave of attack, and we were lucky to go in only a few goals down half time.
Yeah. And then it got to 3-0. And then very shortly afterwards, I think you came on. And
Mm.
within 5 minutes, it might even have been your first touch. You scored at Old Trafford. So how's
Yeah,
that coming from Academy lad coming back? What's that like?
yeah, it was great. Like I said before, I'd always loved going to Old Trafford. As I joined the club when I was 10, that was the dream to play at Old Trafford, and obviously I wanted to play for the first team, but it was equally as special going there as on the away team, and to come on and have an impact in the game was delightful, and get myself on the score sheet was yeah, it was brilliant. And we even had as Christmas do after as well. So I was in a great mood. I seen United play some great stuff. I scored a goal, and then we went partying after. So it was it was it wasn't great for our tables tally, but all round it was a good day of football.
Brilliant. And then obviously you broken your duck against United, and then you did it again the following season with Cardiff.
Yeah.
That was 2-2 up at
Yeah.
your place. What are your memories of that day?
Again, United coming into town, excited. Cardiff newly promoted first time. So it was the atmosphere was electric. I think it was on Sky that game. And yeah, we started really well. I think I assisted one, scored one, and I hit the bar. So yeah, I think I've still got I've got the man of the match actually trophy in my cabinet in the other room. So it's great. Always love playing against top teams. Always, as a professional, you want to test yourself against the best, and Man United are biggest club in the world and some of the greatest talent in the country. So it was, yeah, another great performance, a great day. Cardiff fans were brilliant. They were loud and get right behind you. So it was another great game to be involved in.
I hate to do this to you. Your record against United wasn't the best. It was played nine, drew two, lost seven. But I think it's you've got that sort of unique slant. You played against United under Sir Alex, and you played against United post Sir Alex. Now, obviously, there's been quite a substantial drop off over that time, over the ensuing sort of 12 years.
Yeah.
What difference was there as an opponent lining up? What difference was there facing United either side of Sir Alex?
Well, yeah, it was intimidating. The stadium, the not only the players, but the way the players played. Like the game at Old Trafford against Sunderland, you could just smell they were after blood, and in that you was half beat before he'd even kicked a ball. So that was the old United, and I think now it's times have changed. It's got a lot less structured, less. It's been more difficult for them to get some consistency. Teams are going there thinking we've got half a chance here, rather than before where it was just like I said, you could have been defeated in the tunnel. So it was a weird feeling. going there and thinking we've got a chance here because, you know, I'm used to the United of the old days where it was a really tough place to go and get anything, whether it was home or you was playing at your place, sorry, or Old Trafford. It was a difficult match, but I think of recent years it's not been that, and I think that's where they are trying to head back to get that fear into other clubs and really start to show their dominance that they did throughout the 90s, early 2000s in the Premier League.
I mean, it's such a difficult thing to build, isn't it? Or rebuild an aura. How do you go about
Well, yeah, it's not like a house, so it's just brick by brick. It's a feeling, it's an atmosphere, and it's hard to recreate. So, if you've got it, you've got to hold on to it, and if you lose it, you've got to try and find a way to get that back quickly because the club's massive, the aura of the club is massive, but the team is not matching up to that as at the minute, and they need to find a way to get it back to that as quickly as possible because it's hard to watch it as a United fan that you're not where you want to be, you're not where you think the club should be, but it's football. Sometimes you have great periods and sometimes you don't. It's just riding it out, and sticking by them.
So what can the players do sort of starting tomorrow? Because obviously it's been a mixed start to the season. You've got Sunderland this weekend. Every game is an opportunity to sort of make a statement, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's the thing with United. I think especially every loss is a catastrophe, and every win is oh well, you should have won that. So it's you're in a hard limbo. So I think the quicker the players realise that it's its own unique beast, Man United, and the media treat you a certain a way on their own, you need to just try and block all that out, stick together, go back to the values of of whether it's where you were previous at previous clubs, what made it great, or just look back in the history. I went to the training ground the other day, and I was lucky enough to have a little look around and just have a look on the walls. You see all the trophies. Try and remember and reignite that togetherness again, and bring the club up together, and just try and block out all the outside noise because we've got quality players in the squad. We're just
Yeah,
not showing it to our best abilities at the minute. So, yeah, I think you just got to dig deep, stick together, back to basics, and I think they'll get there eventually.
brilliant. Fingers crossed sooner rather than later.
Yeah,
Fraser, yeah.
fingers, toes, everything's crossed.
Fraser, thank you so much, top man, for
My
joining.
pleasure. Cheers, Steve.